with what we were doing yesterday. And well, we were here. We did the future continuous. And now we did also the conversation. And well, now we are going to review about the adjective clauses. Well, this is something that we have seen before. So in this unit, you are going to be reviewing also this. So as we said before, an adjective clause is basically giving extra information about the noun, right? And it's confirmed by a relative pronoun. And well, let's read the definition. An adjective clause is a multi-word that contains the subject and a verb that tells more information about a noun in a sentence. Adjective clauses depend on other clauses in a sentence to express a complete thought. And that's why they are referred to as depend clauses. Relative pronouns. All adjective clauses begin with a relative pronoun. Some of the most used relative pronouns include who, whose, which, whoever, whomever, that, and where. The relative pronouns mark the beginning of an adjective clause in a sentence. Here, the most important thing is to spot a relative pronoun because adjective clauses follow them. They function as actual subjects and at times the object in an adjective clauses. And well, here we have some examples. Would you please read the examples?
Okay, let me see. Okay, um, people who are true patriots love their country unconditionally.
Yes. So as we see here, this relative pronoun is marking the beginning of an adjective clause. Who are true patriots? This is the adjective clause. All right, the next one, please.
I can recall the time when there were no mobile phones.
Yes. And again, no, because we identify the relative pronoun, we know that this will be the adjective clause. The next one, please.
Jason has a relative whose daughter pursues a career in nursing.
Right? So which is the only relative pronoun that is going to be needing a comma where the adjective clause begins and ends? Which. All right. So whenever you are going to be using which, don't forget about the commas because it is very important. You have to mark the beginning and the ending of the adjective clause.
Okay, but I read the third one.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought we were in the next one already. But as you can see, whenever we are just reading the relative pronouns, we know that this is the beginning of the adjective clause. Right? Read, please, the one with which now.
Okay, dancing, which many people love, is tiresome.
Right? The next one, please.
The reason why David skips mathematics lessons is that he doesn't love the subject.
Yes.
The reason why Nicholas prefers to watch football matches is that he doesn't like to watch basketball. And Weddings, which are hosted in secluded areas, are very jovial.
Correct. So don't forget this, okay? Whenever you're using which, remember to mark the adjective clause with commas. The rest, no need for commas. And well, here we have the relative pronouns separate and also with the meaning and their use. Who, as you know, we are using for people. Okay, it has the same function as the WH. And here we have an example, please.
The woman who called yesterday wants to buy the house.
Yes, which is used for things and animals.
Did you see the letter which came today? I
Yes,
love the puppy which is jumping at the kitchen.
yes, here we are missing the commas, which is very important. Here, commas, very important. In question,
Then,
there is no need for commas in questions, but in statements it is. Okay.
then in the sentence it should be a comma.
Here, the second one. I love the puppy, comma, which is jumping at the kitchen. Only one comma because it's ending, right? The sentence with the adjective clause.
Okay.
Okay. The next one, whose. It is used for possessions of people and animals.
He's a man whose opinion I respect. She's the student whose handwriting is the best in my class.
Yes. Whom. It is going to be used for people when the person is the object of the verb.
The actor whom you criticized in your review has written a letter in reply.
Yes. And that it is going to be used for people, things, and animals.
The girl that we met in France has sent us a card. Then we live in a ground floor flat that backs onto a busy street. Do you like the cat that is sleeping underneath the table?
Yes. So as you can see, in the three examples, we are referring to people, things, and animals, right? So these will be the relative pronouns. Any doubts or questions?
No, I think that I understand.
Perfect. Remember, an adjective clause is just extra information about the noun. All right. And well, here you go. This will be the practice for you to work on.
Okay, could you go to the next slide? I want to copy some examples.
Yes, of course.
Okay, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Okay, teacher, I've already finished.
Great. And how did you do on the practice?
Anything good? I got 10 out of 10.
All right, wonderful. Is there any doubt or question that you may have?
No, I think that I understand now.
Right, right. Let's please work on the conversation practice then. And we are using adjective clauses as well. Let's begin with the first question, please. Tell me about someone who can paint or draw very well.
Um, Someone who can paint and or draw very well. I think that it could be my sister, and because she's a person who loves who loves painting and drawing. Like she always draws his cartoons. I don't know. I like his cartoons that are like Japanese cartoons, and I think that she would be like the person who can paint and draw very well.
All right, very good. Someone else besides this person?
And besides this person, someone who can paint and draw very well, I think that it could be. I have a friend, but my friend doesn't draw a cartoon, for example. I mean, like she just is. It's so she is so um she's so good at writing lines. For example, when I remember when we have to do a homework in the subject of plastic art, and we had to do a plan, like plan, a plan of our houses, like writing perfect lines, for example. I think that you know how is that subject, and my friend did it exactly. I think that she would be like, she doesn't write like writing, she doesn't draw like drawing cartoons, but she's so perfect in what she do, like in writing lines and being so perfect with the angles and that kind of stuff.
All right, okay. Well, we always have or know someone that is very creative and artistic, right?
Yes, in this case, I would say that my sister, principally.
All right. And well, tell me about someone who lives with you.
And someone who lives with me, I think that I would say my brother, because I think that currently he has the most interesting life between of us. My brother is someone who is 4 years bigger than me. Um, I mean, he has 21 years. He's about to be 22, and um, he's a person who he's someone who in the school never had like the best grades. I think that he almost got suspended in 1 year. Like he was so undisciplined, yes. But now he's studying a career that is referred on sports. I think that he's studying um, the sporting business, something that it's something like that. It's like in Spanish, is negocios deportivos. It's like business administration, but like it's all related to sports. Like you can have your own team of for football or for basketball or that kind of stuff. And now he's studying this in Miami. That's why he knows English very good. Well, I think that he knows English very good. And and yes, I think this will be. He returned from the United States in 1.5 years ago because of the pandemic, but now he will return in August.
Okay, all right. Well, yes, and I was going to ask where is he studying, but I wondered that he was studying abroad. All right. Okay. Well, that's very interesting. So what are the plans for your brother to stay in the States?
Um, his plans a future for now. His plans are to finish his career. I think he just has 1 semester or 2 semesters left, and then I think that he will continue with his sportive career. Like he went to the United States with a sportive scholarship of the 70%. Then
Mm,
I think that he will continue in that way, like being part of the soccer team of the in the soccer team of the university. The name of his university is Weber. Then he's in the soccer team, like playing for them. That's why they pay my brother the 70% of the back of the scholarship, no one of the college
well, that's
and
very nice.
and in future I think I always heard that he wanted to create his own like football academy, yes, his own football academy, like ABB or the strongest or Bolivar, for example.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting, and it is interesting to know, right, that abroad you have many other possibilities or many other careers that you can apply to.
Yes,
Things that unfortunately we don't have in here, no, in our country. But yes, abroad you have.
abroad we
And
have
they
exactly.
value and treasure a lot of, people that practice sports. And if they are good at it, they really cherish their, their players.
Yes,
Hmm. All right. And well, tell me about someone who is very tall.
as someone who's very tall, I don't know many people that are very tall, but I could mention about in the school I had I had one friend that his nickname was Billy. I think that his name was Andres. I don't remember good because he was in the other course, like in my parallel, and he was my friend, but I was not so closer to him. And he was like, I think that he measured it. That's what how you say, like medía. He measured it.
Oh, his height was
Okay,
height.
his height was about 2 meters, I think. He was so tall, or 1 meter and 90 centimeters. And but he wasn't like the typical rude person that dedicates to treat bad all other people. Like he was a very good person. He was too quiet. He was too kind, and yes, I think that he would be the person who is very tall.
Mm, all right, okay. And well, tell me about someone who is very young.
Someone who is very young. Mm, I think that I can tell you about. I have two cousins that actually that nowadays that currently they are in the United States, but for holiday they live here with his father and his mother. They are my cousins. Like they are kind of my child because we are so closer between us. And I think that I can tell you about them because they have a kind of perfect life that all of we wanted to live one day. Because it's like I have an uncle that is 60 years old in nowadays, and he has a lot of money. Then I don't mean like he's rich, he's a rich person or millionaire, but he has a good amount of money. And him and like 6 years or 7 years ago, his wife came from Paraguay. Yes, from Paraguay. No, it was yes 8 years ago or 9 years ago. Yes, his wife came from Paraguay, and then she met, and then they met, and they got engaged, and they got married after that. And I think that I can tell you about him because they had two childs, and they did all of the things that they could do like as a family. They traveled to Disney. Actually the wife with their child with their children are in I think that is Texas. I don't remember good.
Okay.
And yes, I think that this could be because they travel a lot of every day.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. And well, tell me about someone who knows or can speak three or more languages.
Mm. The only person that I know that knows in three or more languages, I think that I can tell you about my friend, which the friend who I'm going, the friend which I'm going with in to Russia, and
Mhm.
she's her name is he's woman. Then her name is Dana. He can speak Spanish, obviously. He can speak English too. Like a curious fact is that he will enter to the academy, like to this to this enterprise, and we will do the TOEFL test together. And he knows how to speak French, like all of these languages. I mean, Spanish is the principal. Then we know that we know Spanish in a native way. Spanish we know in a B2 level approximately, and French he knows that languages in a B2 also. And as you know, I know Italian. And the next language that we are going to know is Russian.
Okay. All right. Well, and tell me about someone who often goes fishing.
Here I will let you down because I don't know anyone who goes fishing. Like I don't have any uncles or cousins that I've never gone to fishing also then. No, I don't know anyone.
All right. Well, tell me about someone who is afraid of spiders.
Um Someone who is afraid of spiders. I think that in this case I can tell you about me because I am someone who is so afraid of spiders. I mean, like, I am the most arachnophobic person that you have ever known, that you that you can ever met. And I don't know why is this. I don't know why I'm so afraid to them, but it's like if I saw a spider, even if the spider is like so small, I get in that moment I get so uncomfortable. I don't scream, like I don't make my scene there. I don't scream, I don't cry, for example. But I just feel so uncomfortable, and I say, "Oh my God, I want to go out of here. I can't be here." And in internet there are some videos with a lot of spiders, like, and I hate them a lot. I can't even see spiders in a video game, for example. I just get so I just get so it is uncomfortable for to me. Like I can't handle it with that.
All right. And this is something that has happened to you ever since you were a child, or this is something recent?
Um, this is kind of recent. I don't know exactly, but I would say that it's kind of recent. Because when I was a child, I don't remember exactly a situation. Um, when I got that way, and when I got uncomfortable just just for seeing a spider. I think that this could be recently, but I don't know why. But I could say recently.
All right. Okay. And well, tell me about someone who has a pet.
Um, Someone who has a pet. I think that I can tell you about my. I have a friend that lives near to my house. He lives like 3 houses away. He lives too closer to me, and I think that I can tell you about him because he was the person who convinced me to have a cat. Um, Actually, because he has 3 cats or 4 cats in his house. I know his names. The name of the cats are Ron, Chimuelo, Mina, and Tana. Yes, those. And I think that I can tell you about him because, as I told you, he was the person who convinced me to have my own cat, and I don't regret about that.
All right. Well, is there any pet that you would like to have? Maybe, but it is out of the reach because of, I don't know, commodities or something in particular?
Which was the question, teacher?
Is there an animal that you would like to have, like a pet that you always wanted to have, but maybe you don't have it because of, I don't know, because of the space or because it is the weather is not ideal?
Hmm. I always wanted to have a cat. Like, I, it was one of my, not my dreams, but one of my wishes, like having a cat, and now I have. But one of the pets that I could say that I always wanted to have, it's a rabbit. I don't know why, but I've always seen like rabbit videos, and for me they are like so cute and so how do you say tranquilos? I can remember.
Calm,
What?
calm,
Calm?
C-A-L-M. Calm. Yes. C-A-L-M.
So calm?
Calm.
Ah, so
C-A-L-M.
calm. Yes,
Yes.
and they are so calm. And as even I talked with my mother, like I don't know how many years ago about having a rabbit, but she told me like the rabbits often eats the the rabbits often eat the garden, that kind of stuff. But I think that I could mention, yeah, a rabbit principle.
Right. And well, tell me about someone who is often late for class. Well, when you were at the university.
Someone who is late for class. Actually, currently I couldn't say you. I can't tell you about anyone because, as you know, we are in virtual lessons. Then, and in my university, the professors don't call list, like don't call the attendance, and I don't know who comes late or who is ready earlier, and I don't know. But when I was in the school, I remember that this was so funny. But I think that this is like the fact that just affirmates the reason for all the memes that we see in the internet. I had a I have actually is my friend. Yes, currently is my friend. I have a friend that his name is Gabriel, and he used to live now he lives in another part, but in he used to live in like 3 blocks away from the school. Like my school is in the 15 of Calacoto, and my friend used to live in the 11 no, in the 12 of Calacoto. Yes, in the 12th street of Calacoto. And I don't know why that he always arrived late. I don't know why he has. But at the end of the year, I remember he had like more than more than 20. How do you say atrasos?
Delays.
Yeah, okay, more than 20 delays, and yes, and in my school, the most admitted, like the exaggerated amount of delays is 3, and I don't and if you overpass these 3 opportunities that you have to arrive late, you got suspended or you got expulsed. And of course you can have more if you present like your medical, um, if you say that you have a medical situation, for example. But I don't know how he but I don't know how he don't get suspended or expulsed by the school.
All right. All right. And well, tell me about someone who likes to exercise a lot.
Someone who likes to exercise a lot. Um, Currently, I can tell you about my sister. I have another sister, my older sister. In currently she has no, currently she is 32. Yes, 32, 33.
Mm-hmm.
She has two child. He has two children. Sorry,
Yeah.
and I can tell you about her. And because principal, I think that her situation is impressionant. But because as I told you, she's mom. But 2 years ago, no, not two, like 6 years ago, she discovered like his passion. He discovered that he loves to run, like running, the activity of running. I don't know his name exactly, but he's running, and he really loves this. Like he always wakes up in the morning, and she trains like running for 10 kilometers every day, and she prepares for running in national competences. For example, she won the competence in Sorata, that is one of the hardest in the world. It's like running for 30 kilometers in cold in the mountains and something like that. And and actually he ran in the Chacaltaya. It's like in the Chacaltaya way. I don't know if you know this way. It's like it's in the mountains, like in the snow, and it was 42 kilometers. And my sister runs that, and he won the competition. I don't know why. I don't. I know why, but I don't know how. And actually, she's in Spain, and because she participated like in the it's like the World Cup of running. His name is the name of this competition is Sky Running World Cup or something like that. I don't remember what, but it's Sky Running, and she participated with other 20 with other I don't know how many people there are. I think there are more than 1,000 or something like that for each country. Like from Bolivia, were just three people, but you can but you can imagine how many people could be from another countries. I mean, I don't know how many American people, how many Chinese people or Japanese people from Bolivia. Just three, in which team was my sister. And in Spain, I think that it was exactly in Catalonia. Um, the speed was no, the career was for I think that it was 45 kilometers, and my sister got in the 25 position. And my sister arrived in the 25 position. And I think that I can tell you about my sister, yes, because she exercises a lot. I mean, she doesn't. I think that she doesn't go to the gym something like that. But I know that she wakes up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and she goes to run before going to work and taking care of her children.
All right, okay. Well, that's very nice. So these were all of the questions about the adjective clauses, all right, and relative pronouns. All right, so let's please move forward. And well, next we are going to be reviewing on modal verbs and their specific use. As you can see in this chart, we have the classification. We have the type of what it is being used, a modal verb, and some examples to understand better. Well, modal verb that expresses ability can be can in the present and could in the past. And here we have two examples using both modal verbs. Can you begin reading the first one, please?
Okay. David can speak three languages, and he could speak fluent French when he was 5.
Correct. Yes. So to express ability, can in the present and could in the past. To express permission. Well, to express permission, you can use can, could, or may. And here we have three examples with the three of them.
Okay. Can I sit in that chair, please? Could I open the window? And may I borrow your dictionary?
Correct. Yes. Here, the next one. Advice. To express advice, we use should. And as we have seen before, we can also use ought to, which is the same as should, right? And they have the same meaning. And
But
here we
I think that ought to is like is not so common, isn't it? Or is common?
it is not. People nowadays don't use it anymore. They rather to use should, and in all of the verb lists that you will download or that you can see, you will only see should, not ought to.
Yes, and I also think that ought to is like it's not used any is almost not used anymore, but they use it is more used in the British English than in American English.
Now it does. Yes, indeed.
Okay, then you should visit your dentist at least twice a year, and you should try to lose weight.
Correct. And to express obligation, we can use must or have to.
I must memorize all of those rules about tenses. You have to take off your shoes before you get into the, the mosque.
The mosque. You know what is
What
the
is mosque?
mosque? A mosque is a place where Muslim people go and pray.
Oh, like the mezquita.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And to express possibility, you can use might, may, could, or can.
Okay. It looks nice, but it might be expensive. And Richard may be coming to maybe Richard may be coming to see us tomorrow.
Yes. So this is very important to remember the specific use, okay, of the modal verbs. Ones are only used to express ability, permission, advice, obligation, and possibility. And well, this is the classification that you don't have to forget. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's please move forward. And so, well, in this unit, you will be reviewing about the active and passive voice with modal verbs, right? Passive and active with modal verbs. For this reason, it is very important for you to know their specific use before this classification. Otherwise, you won't be able to decide which modal verb you're going to choose in case of gap filling. So, as you can see, whenever you are going to be using the passive voice with modals, all of them are going to be following the follow structure. Modal verb, followed by be, and followed by the verb in the past participle tense. All of them. So this is for passive. This is for active. Here we have examples for active and passive. You will read the passive and I will read the active, okay? With must. I must clean the house. Passive?
The house must be cleaned.
Yes. Can. I can clean the house. Passive?
And the house can be cleaned.
Should. I should clean the house. Passive voice?
The house should be cleaned.
Could. I could clean the house.
The house could be cleaned.
May. I may clean the house.
The house may be cleaned.
Might. I might clean the house.
The house might be cleaned.
Have to. I have to clean the house.
And the house has to be cleaned.
Yes. And as you know, whenever we are changing a passive or an active statement to a passive voice, we can include who is the person that is doing the action, right? The house must be cleaned by my brother, by her, by him, by them. We can include also, right? In these examples, we are not including, okay, the subject because in passive voice you can either include or not. The most important is to follow the structure, right? You don't have to forget that. You must have a modal verb followed by be and followed by a verb in the past participle tense. This is the most important.
Okay.
All right, this will be the structure. And well, I don't think we are going to have time to work on the practice, but we will do it later on at noon.
Okay.
All right. Okay, well, let's please work on the survey, and that will be all. And we will continue at noon.
Okay, teacher.
All right, thank you. All right, Leandro. Well, see you at noon.
Okay, teacher. See you at home. Have
We
a great morning.
continue. The same for you.
Bye bye.
Bye.